I transmigrated into the female supporting role in a book. What I face is the gloomy and crazy male supporting role. To survive, I must save and change him. After 4 continuous failures and rebirths through death, I finally succeed and survive. But in the end, I commit suicide. Devon, don't come any closer. Jemiah's clothes were disheveled, and her incomparably beautiful face was streaked with tears. Devon, dressed in a black suit, looked elegant and noble, like a god. However, a sinister and terrifying aura surrounded him, chilling to the bone. His black leather shoes were impeccably clean, making dull sounds as they hit the ground, as though stepping on Jemiah's heart. Devon stepped closer and closer. Jemiah trembled and retreated, losing her balance and falling to the ground. Devon's dark eyes were filled with pain. Jemiah, be careful. Jemiah's voice trembled, don't come closer. Devon walked over, gently helped her up, wrapped his arm around her waist, and tenderly smoothed her messy hair. He whispered in her ear, Jemiah, why did you run again? Disobedient girls get punished. He gently caressed Jemiah's flat abdomen. And our baby. How could you bear to run around with him? A strange smile suddenly appeared on Jemiah's lips. Devon, there's no baby. I already aborted it. Devon's fingers tightened, his thin lips trembled slightly, and his eyes filled with pain. He spoke in disbelief. What did you say? Jemiah pulled out an abortion report from her clothes and flung it at him. I said, I already aborted it. Devon's hands trembled as he unfolded the paper, his eyes bloodshot. Suddenly, a tear fell onto the report. Jemiah, our baby. Jemiah looked at Devon with cold, disgusted eyes. Devon, every time with you makes me sick to my stomach. I've only ever loved Trayvon. Devon's expression turned dark and vicious to the extreme. His eyes filled with overwhelming hatred and pain. He gripped Jemiah's slender waist tightly. Jemiah, you want him dead, don't you? The one who should die is you, Devon. Jemiah's lips curved into a strange smile. Sign the stock transfer to Trayvon and let me go. And you'll get to leave here alive. Otherwise, you'll just be a corpse. Devon let out a low laugh, cold and desolate in the empty, dilapidated warehouse. Jemiah, do you really want me dead? Yes. Devon glanced around. His bodyguards, all dressed in black, stood in neat rows. How do you plan to kill me? He asked. Everyone here is mine. Jemiah laughed coldly at him. Devon, you've been tricked. And you pride yourself on being so clever. I planted bombs all over this warehouse ahead of time. The remote control is on me. One press of the button, and this place will turn to rubble. Jemiah said as she reached into her pocket, but she found nothing. Devon opened his palm. Jemiah, are you looking for this? Jemiah's eyes shook violently. When did he take it? You. Devon's lips curved up, but there was no warmth in his expression. Besides this, do you have any other way to kill me? Jemiah's thin body trembled slightly. Had she lost to Devon again? Was she going to be taken back and tormented once more? Devon suddenly pulled Jemiah into a tight embrace. His abyss-like dark eyes as still as a pool of dead water. His thin lips pressed close to her ear. Since you want me dead, I'll grant your wish. Jemiah was still in shock, unable to react, when Devon unhesitatingly pressed the button. In the next second, a massive explosion roared, and scorching flames from all directions swallowed the entire warehouse. Jemiah, we lived and died together. Jemiah, our baby. Jemiah stared in disbelief at the scene before her. What had just happened in the novel was now playing out in real life. She moved her body in shock. Had she transmigrated into the body of the Jemiah in the Boo? Had she become the beautiful, scheming, and ruthless supporting character, Jemiah? Jemiah and Devon were supporting characters in the novel. Jemiah was vicious, ruthless, cruel. And his personality was so obsessive it bordered on psychopathic. The Knapp family was a prominent clan in End City. Devon, though an illegitimate son who was looked down upon, had climbed to power step by trampling over his family. He had become an emperor-like figure who controlled the city with an iron fist. By all accounts, Devon's character should have been a tragic yet powerful male lead, but he was merely an obsessive cannon fodder villain. It was Devon's older brother, Trayvon, who was the true male protagonist. Trayvon was strategic and determined to seize power within the family. Jemiah was a supporting character, with little description in the book. She was stunningly beautiful, with an alluring figure, and had been placed by Trayvon as a pawn beside Devon. It was Jemiah's older sister, Janessa, who was Trayvon's official partner, intelligent, beautiful, and elegant, the true female lead. Coincidentally, the real Jemiah, a simple and single university student, shared the same name as the supporting character Jemiah in the book. She had seen how Devon and Jemiah perished together. She should have been happy. After all, the biggest obstacle to the male lead regaining power had been removed. The scheming and cruel Jemiah. who was infatuated with the male lead and constantly tried to sabotage the main couple's relationship, had finally exited the stage. But when she read the line, "Jemiah, I guess we're dying together," she couldn't help but feel a pang of heartache for the cruel and vicious Devon. He was a major villain, ruthless and cold-hearted, but he had loved Jemiah deeply, to the point of obsession, madness, and disregarding his own life. She felt her chest tighten painfully, almost as if she were suffocating. When she opened her eyes again, she had transmigrated into the body of Jemiah from the book. And according to the plot in the book, in just a few minutes, she was going to die. Before Jemiah could react, Devon had already gripped her waist tightly. His voice was hoarse with pain. "Jemiah, that was our child. How could you be so heartless? Oh my God, what should she do?" She had to go back. There was no way she could stay with this obsessive psycho. Thinking of all the things he had done to Jemiah in the book, imprisonment, sexual abuse, forcing her to get pregnant. No wonder he loved her so obsessively, and no wonder Jemiah had always fought against him. His way of loving was simply unbearable. Jemiah's mind raced. If she wanted to go back, she had to survive first. Under no circumstances could she let him blow up the warehouse. Her eyes sparkled beautifully as she looked up at Devon. This man was devilishly handsome. He was tall and well-built, his features perfectly sculpted. His short hair was neat and clean, and his black suit was immaculate, exuding a cold, stern, yet slightly ascetic aura. Jemiah noticed that there was a number above his head, 98. What was that? She instinctively raised her hand to touch it, but felt nothing. Devon's dark eyes gazed deeply at her. Her hand hung awkwardly in midair before she lightly touched his head. In the next second, Jemiah was shocked to see the number change. It became 97.